Welcome to Let's Talk Nutrition. Great to be with you. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you're having a good day, wherever and however you may be listening or watching the show, and whatever you may be doing. And of course, as I always tell you, that's none of my business. And you could be driving to work. We do air this show coast to coast, and it's in different times at different markets. So, you just have to sort of check your local listings, as we say. And we do air live, though, 9 to 11 a.m. Eastern Time. And I hope you had a great weekend. I did. Worked all day yesterday, and I found myself at what's called a vendor conference. And at this vendor conference, there were a number of companies that it's like a round table, and it takes all day to do. And the companies talk about and present to people who attend the conference their products in their company. And you get a real insight into the company and the people that own it. That's one of my ways of sharing with you what I know about these different companies. And to give you some guidance when you walk into a health store, because it's rather intimidating, right? You see all these bottles, all these products, and all these different companies, and is one vitamin C the same as another? Is one protein bar the same as another? Is one probiotic same as the other? Does it make a difference? Does the price make a difference? In essence, does the company make a difference? And the answer to that, to all of those questions, yes, there is a difference. The company. What's their mission? What's their purpose? Who owns it? How long have they had it? Oh, can you drop that boom a little bit for me? The one in front of you. Thanks. It's illuminating because I get to sample all these different companies and see what they're saying. And of course, one company doesn't know what the other one is saying. And the trick is to listen and ask good questions. And then I come here and I share that with you in terms of what might serve you best when you're trying to figure out what to take from a dietary supplement perspective. And I can tell you, it's almost hard to keep up with the technology, the science and technology and innovation that goes into the making of dietary supplements. Where it was 20 years ago and where it is now, oh my. I would liken it to the first astronaut. Who was that? Anybody know? Neil Armstrong? Wasn't Neil Armstrong? What was the senator's name?
John Glenn. God bless John Glenn.
John Glenn, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sitting on top of a tin can. He was in a tin can, sitting on top of a rocket. Compared to what we got today with rocket ships and putting people into space, that's about the difference. It's amazing where we are with the technology. Back in the day, you wanted protein. Hoffman had these pills. Bodybuilders would take them. It was like eating compressed straw. They were dreadful. And everybody was excited about that. They were consuming it as if, somehow it got delivered from the Last Supper. And then people were consuming it like nobody's business, the bodybuilders. Where we are today, my goodness, it's just remarkable. But with every blessing, there is, I don't want to say curse, but there's always an issue. In that there is so much information, so many products, so many innovations, that the consumer becomes confused. And then there are those companies that capitalize on that. And they try to get on the bandwagon and get a big hit right away, make some money, and gone. And there are many that do that. You go to a trade show, like one coming up, Expo West, you'll see companies there one year, they're gone the next year. never to be heard of again. And when you look at their marketing, everything looks just fine and dandy. I know it's not. So one of the things we try to do on the show in terms of educating is to educate the listener and the viewer about dietary supplementation, about the companies themselves, their mission, their values. Who are these people? If you're a regular listener to the show, you've listened to me speak with Dr. Alan Logan a number of times now. He's one of my favorite guests for a lot of reasons. He's frightfully bright, honest, authentic, genuine, and dialed in, evidence-based approach, naturopathic physician, trained at the Canadian College of Naturopathic Medicine, which is a real naturopathic medical school. And I just have great respect. I'm very fond of Alan. And I was privileged to write a review for his book called The Secret Life of Your Microbiome. I highly recommend it. He and his co-author, Susan Prescott, Dr. Prescott, take a humanistic approach to writing a scientific book. And it's very personal. Their relationship even gets implicated in a book in a very clever way. I like it. It's a little off the beaten path. But the message in between the covers of this book is an important message. And then you find a company that's going to use the term microbiome in their marketing. If I were consulting with them, I'd say, what are you, nuts? You don't want to do that. People don't know what you're talking about. But Genuine Health does. And they're pushing it and inserting it into the conversation. Microbiome. It sounds, sounds a little tedious, right? You're saying, oh my God, now I got to learn this. It's not really all that complicated in a sense, but it is complicated, but you can talk about it in a way that makes sense. This is all by way of getting me to that. I spent a considerable amount of time yesterday talking with 3 people. It is rare when you have the founder of a company in studio. And we have the founder of Genuine Health in studio today. A lot of them won't come on air. I've tried. I've talked to someone. They won't come on. I don't know why. This is a safe zone. I never throw the guest under the bus. Even when they say silly things, I have to wait. Be rhetorically sensitive and respectful and disagree in a way that's not disagreeable. But you'll see, I'm going to introduce the principles from Genuine Health today. I was very impressed with them. I was telling them in the hall that last night, after spending all day at this conference, I was thinking about them. And I thought, my goodness, those people are on a mission. They have a point of view that will serve you well in terms of your health, wellness, and well-being. And they have that, and their mission and their point of view and their purpose is compatible, if not identical, to that of Let's Talk Nutrition. That's just by coincidence. Lucky for me, lucky for you. You are listening to Let's Talk Nutrition, coast to coast and globally. We'll come back, and I'll introduce you in human terms to Genuine Health.
I'm Joy McCarthy, holistic nutritionist, and I expect more from my multivitamin. I've researched many vitamins, and what's truly different about Every Woman's One Daily from New Chapter is that it's fermented with probiotics and whole foods and gentle even on an empty stomach. Every Woman's One Daily helps you feel good every day. giving you immune, energy, and stress support, and nutrients for bone and heart health. You will notice a difference. Every Woman's One Daily recently won the Best Multivitamin Award, and I love that it's non-GMO project verified. Discover the wisdom of nature with New Chapter.
Whether you spend your free time on a treadmill, under a car, or in your garden, if your active lifestyle leaves you sore, Body Vigor's Inflammaforce may be exactly what you need. Inflammaforce has a natural herb blend that acts as an anti-inflammatory to help maintain healthy joint and mobility support. There are standardized herbs like white willow, boswellia, turmeric, ginger, and devil's claw. The vegetarian capsule promotes easy digestion and a fast-acting dissolve process. Inflammaforce includes a proprietary enzyme herbal blend full of antioxidants and flavonoids that target pain and inflammation throughout the body. Body Vigor's Inflammaforce contains ingredients that support normal, healthy joint flexibility and function, builds healthy tissue, and helps with your recovery process. So if you're tired of sore joints and inflamed muscles, Body Vigor's Inflammaforce is your answer. Purchase Inflammaforce.
Welcome back. Welcome to Let's Talk Nutrition. Thanks for tuning in today. We're off to a new week, and hope you're having a good start to your week and you had a good weekend. Today in studio is Genuine Health and the owners of Genuine Health, and Stewart Brown, who is the founder of the company. Back, I was asking him yesterday about 25 or 30 years. I'll get him to tell you more about that. And Jordan is here as well, Wittmayer, and Elise is here too. I don't know. She doesn't want to be on camera. That's okay. And we're going to chat with them today about this company, and by way of trying to convey to you why I'm so excited about this company and how I think they can help you take charge of your health so you can live a long life with quality of life. And it's a company that takes a whole, like a plant-based, a fermented plant-based approach to the making of dietary supplements. And it's not a gimmick. I mean, this has been on Stewart's mind for a long time. Now, there's some companies that have picked this idea up and have been fermenting their ingredients, and I get that. And they're the ones that just come along and then try to, use it as a marketing gimmick. It's not the case at Genuine Health. It's done for a purpose, and Stewart will explain. And I spent some time with them yesterday, and so they're here today. Stewart, welcome to the show.
Welcome.
It's great to have you on.
It's great to be here. Thank you for the nice introduction.
It's always easy to tell the truth. And you're up in Canada, right?
Yeah, out of Toronto. We've been up in Canada with Genuine Health for about 25 years now.
And the company originated in Canada.
Yes, yeah. Originated in Toronto. I had retail stores and got a lot of experience dealing with, people coming in with health issues. And it made me realize that some people come in and they don't really have a problem, and they come in and they've been out too much and they just want a multivitamin. And then other people have real health issues. So it really made me aware of people use our products a lot of times for life-changing things. Health is really important, and we've got to make a product that really works to make a difference in their lives.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it almost sounds cliche to say that, and when you say it,
it does. But when you're standing in when I was a retailer and I was standing right in front of a customer, it just hit home to me. This is important. It wasn't sort of, at that time, you're not creating a product in the back room for just anybody. You're creating it for people who become your friends, and you just want to do the best you can for them.
How many years of your life have you spent in the natural products industry in one capacity or another, either as a salesperson, an owner, or whatever?
I don't know if I want to admit that. So it's about 40 years now. So
4 decades.
Yeah.
What do you think? There have been many changes.
Yeah.
Is there one that really stands out in your mind in terms of natural products and dietary supplements that?
I think the biggest thing, it's not really a product as much as I think the biggest thing is actually the way the mindset has changed. I feel like people come now, especially a lot of the millennials, and they just know our products, know natural products can make a difference and work. I don't think we need to prove to people anymore that they have to work or they work. It's just this really nice mindset where people believe in the products. They know they're going to make a difference if they get the right products and they start eating well. And it's just so nice to see so many people just eating well. I remember I had a really good friend, and this was when I was in my early 20s. I was actually living in Vancouver, and he was the first person I met that just ate healthy without thinking about it. And I always thought that would be great if we have a society that just naturally eats healthy. And I think that's starting to happen. I really see my friends of my kids, they just eat healthy without thinking about it as much as we do. They don't really, a lot of times when I got into the industry, people were trying to eat well. They were trying, and it was hard work. I feel like it's a lot easier now for people. There's so much more products out there.
Mm-hmm. When you say eat healthy, are you talking about their day-to-day diet, or are you talking about their use of dietary supplements? Or
I feel both. I was mainly talking about diet there, but I feel both. It's also so much easier to get, we're trying to really give good products and help nourish people without making it a big deal. Just making a smoothie, throwing it in a blender with fruits and things like that, and just making it an easy part of people's lives to live and be healthy.
Mm-hmm. So in the United States, I'm pretty familiar with the stats in Canada, but in the U.S., 68% of the population is overweight or obese. Metabolic syndrome is on the rise. Type 2 diabetes is epidemic because it's running in parallel. As I mentioned yesterday in my talk, I asked the question, what is the primary cause of chronic diseases and early death?
Yeah.
And the answer is that four-letter word, diet. And wherever the diet from the U.S., the so-called standard American diet, is imported, health declines without exception. And there's a number of places in the world where this has happened. What's so ironic is that you have a company that's making healthy, whole food-based, fermented food-based products. And it's almost like when you look at the landscape of what's going on, it's almost like you take a water pistol into a forest fire and say, I can make a difference. That takes a lot of courage.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about that. We'll be back.
The perfect complement to your beauty regimen? Try Form Essentials Zinnia. The finest of its kind, Zinnia offers twice as much biotin as other formulas, which has proven to unlock the vibrancy in even the dullest of hair, skin, and nails. Zinnia breaks through and rejuvenates cells internally, helping you achieve the allure of effortless beauty. Reviving your hair, skin, and nails has never been easier. This essential blend of biotin, alpha-lipoic, and hyaluronic acid, collagen, and vitamin C creates lasting enhancements to your natural good looks. Don't go on wondering. You're worth the results. This combination of ingredients can only be found in Zinnia. Pamper yourself with a proven bit of affordable luxury and start looking your best. Ask for Zinnia by name at your nearest vitamin retailer to begin your journey to restored nails, head-turning hair, and radiant skin today. For more information, visit formessentials.com.
When your alarm goes off, do you jump out of bed with excitement? Or does it take multiple alarms, a few snooze buttons, or a morning caffeine fix to get you going? These habits and daily stress cause a vicious cycle in which sleep becomes increasingly elusive. In fact, 54% of Americans report struggles to fall or stay asleep. For a better night's rest, look no further than Solace, an all-natural dietary supplement that supports healthy sleep and relaxation, so you get the rest you need to wake up clear-eyed, alert, and ready for the day. Solace has given thousands a better night's rest and the power to take back their mornings while enjoying the day ahead of them. Solace is formulated with non-addictive, scientifically proven, all-natural ingredients that support sleep and relaxation, such as melatonin, tryptophan, and 5-HTP. For more information or to order Solace, visit takesolace.com. Solace for healthy sleep naturally.
Welcome back. Welcome to Let's Talk Nutrition, wherever and however you may be listening or watching the show, and whatever you may be doing. Stewart Brown, Jordan Wittmayer, and Elise Donahue are in studio today. These are wonderful people from Genuine Health, and it's a company that has a unique mission, and it influences the way they make their products. And Stewart alluded to, why he got into this business. He had, to a person that's ever been on this show, to a person, whether they owned a company or they have a PhD or they are a sales, whatever, without exception, I can't think of one instance where they got into the business for some other reason than something happened to them or someone close to them relative to health, and inspired them to move into this world of health. Medicine, well-being and natural products, all of that. And in his case, Stewart's case, he had migraines, and he owned supplement stores. He owned dietary or nutrition stores or health stores, vitamin stores, and developed products. And in the course of his life, he helped AIDS patients in the 80s. Back then, that was a big deal and still is. And he, in his some of the notes I got on Stewart, he wanted to make good products. You heard him say that. And I told him, I said, sound cliche, doesn't it? But that's really what he wants to do. Make good products that work and that are safe and that can make a difference in your health, wellness, and well-being. That's easy to say, not so easy to do. And you got to figure out how to do it and have a point of view about it all. And they do. They have a fermented whole food, plant-based approach to making supplements. Stewart, welcome back. So your sample is an interesting sample. My sample of people is a little different than yours. You have an optimistic message. I like that. And you see improvement in the way people are living and eating. I do too. But as the nuns used to write on my paper and report card, room for improvement.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, lots of room for improvement in our general society today. But it's nice just to see those. It's nice to see so many young people taking care of their health.
Young people.
Yeah.
You're right. Yeah. There's a restaurant here in town. I don't have permission to mention the name. And it's a natural health kind of restaurant, sort of new. I was in there the other day. I'm sitting there. 4 people walked in, young, in their 20s. Sit there, 4 more walked in. So at the end of by the time I left, I was the oldest person in the room, which is not hard to do.
But that's so great.
And the average age in that room, if you took me out of it, I didn't want to screw up the mean. I would suspect was about 25 or 30.
Yeah.
All in there, and I was thinking, I was tempted to walk up to this one couple and say, what made you come in here? Why aren't you next door at that taco place? Literally, there's a taco. Yeah. You came in here. So you're right. I do see it.
And I think it's a lot of people, our age. It's their kids. And I think they've been brought up on a healthy diet. So I really do think there's the, we refer to them around the office as active Agnes, and that's people like us that are very active. Generally, we look at it as female demographic, but they're kids. We've really brought them up to be healthier and to think about nutrition. And when you start off that way, it's so much better, and you feel so much better, so that when you do end up at that taco place next door, you don't feel as well. And you realize, hey, I could feel better. So it's, it's making these positive differences in people's lives.
Would you say that your relationship with food, as it is today, was that when you were a teenager?
Oh, not at all. Not at all. I grew up during that change where we moved to a lot of processed foods. So, grew up on, macaroni and cheese and just a lot of crap. It was sort of a blend. To put it simply.
Well said.
Yeah.
A lot of crap.
I always thought the TV dinner was like the downfall of society anyway.
Yeah, that's actually probably a good point.
Because it's the TV dinner, you didn't eat at the dinner table anymore. You sat in front of the TV. You didn't have a conversation. It became a throwaway society because you didn't wash your plate.
Yeah.
You threw it away.
There were 3 things there that happened, right?
Yeah.
You were sedentary, You were eating, to quote Stewart, crappy food,
Yeah.
and the family wasn't talking to one another, and we disconnected ourselves from real whole food, plant-based foods, and healthy foods generally. And so you're right about that. The TV dinner's a metaphor for what has happened to us. And when did you change your relationship with food?
It would have been my mid-20s, early 30s. And it really was because of migraines and realizing that, when I ate the wrong foods, it would trigger migraines for me. And it was really about getting back to good nutrition.
Mm-hmm. How has that influenced the way you run your company and its mission and the purpose?
I think the biggest thing is we really look at whole foods. So, vitamin C, the B vitamins and all that, those are great and wonderful. And there's a lot of really good companies that do those things. But I feel like the basics before you get to anything else has to be whole nutrition, because there's so much polyphenols in plant nutrition, phytonutrients, that are so important that you don't get in isolated nutrients. And the body over thousands of years has realized how wonderful these things are. And when you were talking about the microbiome earlier, the microbiome is just basically microbes. And we've really learned so much over the last 20 years. This goes back to what you were saying earlier about, the change 20, 30, 40 years since I started the industry, is I in some ways feel like people used to take a handful of pills, and it really was missing the phytonutrients and the wonderfulness of the phytonutrients. And that's really what we want to bring today, is sort of concentrated phytonutrients, because those feed the microbiome. And to me, that's what is so important.
Sometimes the metaphor of the painter's palette is used in talking about foods. And I know that you've been known to say that in North America, there were 3 primary colors that seemed to dominate the diet of people.
Yeah.
It was white from, I would say, French fries. You didn't include it in your notes, but I would say sugar and salt. Red for the ketchup. And and green with iceberg lettuce.
Yeah, very much so.
Right.
And a lot of times on a hamburger.
Right. Exactly.
Or with a hamburger.
Yeah. Eating pizza is not a way to get lycopene.
No.
From the tomato sauce. Although it is. But I'm saying, when we come back, we'll talk some more. We'll talk with Jordan Wittmayer. And maybe I might be able to persuade Elise to say at least hello on a mic. We'll see. I'll try. Genuine health. They have a genuine purpose in mind, and they do it in a genuine way. I'll explain.
Don't be stressed out or anxious. Take Hempenol.
Whether you spend your free time on a treadmill, under a car, or in your garden, if your active lifestyle leaves you sore, Body Vigor's Inflammaforce may be exactly what you need. Inflammaforce has a natural herb blend that acts as an anti-inflammatory to help maintain healthy joint and mobility support. There are standardized herbs like white willow, boswellia, turmeric, ginger, and devil's claw. The vegetarian capsule promotes easy digestion and a fast-acting dissolve process. Inflammaforce includes a proprietary enzyme herbal blend full of antioxidants and flavonoids that target pain and inflammation throughout the body. Body Vigor's Inflammaforce contains ingredients that support normal, healthy joint flexibility and function, builds healthy tissue, and helps with your recovery process. So if you're tired of sore joints and inflamed muscles, Body Vigor's Inflammaforce is your answer. Purchase Inflammaforce exclusively on Amazon.com.
Genuine Health is the company, and they're in studio today. Stewart Brown, the founder of the company, Jordan Wittmayer, and Elise Donahue is also with me.
Look at that picture.
Oh my God!
Let's
Holy,
roll.
boy, what a handsome guy!
Yeah,
That's great, man.
That was a few years ago.
You look wonderful. Jordan Wittmayer is with the company. We're going to introduce him to you. Jordan, welcome back to Let's Talk Nutrition.
Great to be here.
You need to get into that mic like it's an ice cream cone. What do you do for the company?
I provide education. I'm really here to inspire others, just like yourself, Dr. Garko, to live healthier lives.
Mm-hmm. Where do you spend most of your time in front of retailers or consumers or both?
Yeah, usually most of my time's in front of retailers, sometimes in front of consumers as well. But I certainly love our retail partners. You know, like you just mentioned moments ago, there was a vendor conference that we were part of, thankful to be part of. And it was a great way to educate the Vitamin Discount Center staff and really inspire them. And that's what we're here for. I mean, that's what I love the most, is really inspiring other people to give back that information to consumers to live better lives.
And they have such a great staff. Like, it was just so many engaged people. Like, it was really nice to see.
Yeah, and you know, we encourage health stores throughout the United States, coast to coast and globally for that matter, to even call the show, and some do. We like that connection because the health store is the connection to the consumer. And we encourage owners and managers of health stores, no matter who or where, to call and chime in, voice your opinion or point of view, whatever you'd like to share. And how long have you been in the industry?
I've been in the industry for over 15 years, and I've had the ability to work with many different brands, many of the top brands today. And I will say that Genuine Health, honestly, is a brand that really is quite different in the marketplace.
How so?
Well, I mean, like Stewart just mentioned before, we're here to really truly improve people's quality of life. When we're looking at developing a product, for example, we're looking at how is that product going to be designed for the ultimate goal to improve people's quality of life. And I don't think every company out there has it in mind. I know I was speaking with you earlier, you know, there's a lot of marketing companies out there. They're putting a sprinkling of ingredients and with, you know, of course, the purpose to make money. But Genuine Health, our goal, our mission, our passion is absolutely to improve people's quality of life, but specifically to help nourish the microbiome, that buzzword that we were talking about earlier today. And people aren't aware what, you know, this buzzword is, microbiome. It's simple. It's a study of good bacteria, bacteria throughout your whole body. Really, Genuine Health's mission and passion is to study the gut microbiome and how its influence on health.
Doc, I'm not sure if you know, but we are also a B Corp. Are you familiar with B Corp?
Yes, I am, and we mentioned that one day. Explain to the please, the listener and the viewer, Stewart, what that means.
To me, just very simplistically or simply, it's B Corp. It's to be a force of good in this world and be the change you want to see in the world. So it's a group of companies. I'm not sure if there's 1,100 of us now across the world. And it's really where we think corporations can make a difference in people's lives and be a force for good. And for me, 99-point-something% of GDP is by corporations. So if we're going to change this world, we got to get the corporations to change. NGOs are amazing and great, but they're not going to change the world. If if we want to make a difference in this world, the corporations are going to do. So to me, that's sort of the philosophy of where we're coming from.
It's like what the fair trade symbol is in the coffee industry is what B Corp is to our industry. It's, you know, giving back to local communities. Giving back not only in terms of resources, but also our time and energy as well. I mean, for example, at Genuine Health, something that we like to do is go out and plant trees or even pull invasive species. This year alone, we went and planted trees across the United States and Canada because, again, B Corps are about helping with Mother Nature as well, being more sustainable as a brand. And that's not only within this industry, it's actually across many industries as well.
It's really about people, planet, and prosperity. So you do, as a corporation, need to make money to continue to, employ people, give jobs, pay good wages. But it's really about the planet and the people that work in the company.
I just graduated.
You turn your mic.
I just graduated from college, actually, like 3 years ago, over in St. Leo, up in Dade City, and it's amazing how the mindset is now pushing so much towards corporate responsibility, and that's a business college up there. Actually, they were able to build a building because one of their graduates donated the money for corporate responsibility.
Right.
And that building, they went state of the art with it. Now, anybody in the community in Dade City, St. Leo, and Brooksville can use that building and use all the technology in it for free, and you don't have to go to St. Leo to use it.
That's great. Yeah, that's really great.
And the concept in the literature, it's called corporate social responsibility, and you can also have corporate environmental responsibility. I wrote a couple of papers on corporate social responsibility. Again, what happens, it gets turned into a buzzword, buzz concept, but at its heart, corporations do need to be socially responsible and environmentally responsible. Those are very compatible and doable.
And I feel very much that corporations that want to, there's a lot of corporations that say it, but I really believe that the B Corp accredits people, and it gives, it helps to separate from people just saying it and people actually doing it.
What I mean, as well, I want to take on to that. I think that B Corps are in general and should be inspired to do more. Like when you're a manufacturer of, for example, natural products, you should be inspired to do more with your formulas, making sure that, like we were just saying moments ago, improving people's quality of life. I mean, certainly that's what we're thinking of, and I know that other B Corps have that in mind as well.
And I'm sorry. We're headed into some messages, and you heard Jordan allude to the idea of formulas. And one of the, in terms of Stewart's philosophies and how it influences the company has a commitment to research. That's why they have people such as Alan Logan hanging around, Dr. Logan, and validation of their formulas and trying to make a safe product that works. They're evidence-based. It's evidence-based nutrition, evidence-based science. You can practice science without the data. Some people do that. That's crazy stuff, but that's a story for another day. And this is giving you some insight into this company. When we come back, we're going to talk about products in specific, like their organics, organic superfoods, gut superfoods plus, their protein products, powders, and bars, and how fermentation figures into all of this and how that makes a difference. You are listening to Let's Talk Nutrition, coast to coast and globally for genuine health. So how's your microbiome these days? What?
Flourish.
Welcome to Let's Talk Nutrition. Great to be with you. That term, microbiome, is making its way into the lexicon of the natural products industry, natural health, approaches to natural health, and generally, even in traditional medicine, allopathically, that paradigm, allopathic approach to medicine, which has a purpose. My own physician is on this show, Dr. McElwain, who's a rheumatologist and an internist, and we're not parochial and ideological around here, only to say that we're open-minded, and I will listen and embrace, people's ideas, and sometimes even when I disagree, I'll listen, because that's how you learn. How do you know what you believe until and when you listen to somebody else and their point of view and may challenge you? Change is hard and difficult, and change is the signature of evolution. That is what happens. And plant life on this planet is green life as we know it, life on Earth, is what, 3 billion years old? Something like that. Try to think, think about that. 3 billion. Now, we're sort of newcomers as a species to this rock that's spinning around in space, in the cosmos. We've been around 3 million years in our evolution. And in that time, we, as Darwin explained in his theory, and that's what a theory is, it's simply an explanation answering the question why, we selected, natural selection, to evolve with certain features and abilities like your immune system, much of which is found in your gut. There wasn't a walk-in clinic. There were no physicians. You got sick or injured, the pharmacy was in your body, and the instruments to help heal the body were there. And the immune system was a fundamental part of that. What is ironic is that that immune system is located, much of it, in a sector of the body that you would instinctively come to that belief or conclusion. That is, much of it's found in your gut, Pyrus patches and whatnot, in different sectors. These are microbes. They have evolved with us. Then you had this monumental moment when microbes were considered to be the cause of disease. And then everything changed. And microbes then got all lumped into one disease basket. Not the case. There are pathogenic bacteria, true. But there are also bacteria that live within us that have had a symbiotic relationship. We are the host, by the way. They confer benefit from us, and we confer much benefit from them. And this has taken millions of years to happen. Nature is very deliberate and slow in its agenda. I don't worry about the planet being destroyed by us. I worry about us. The planet survived the Ice Age, meteorite hits, disease. It'll survive our stupidity as well if we're not careful. It could blow this place up. But the planet will survive. And the plants always come back. They make their way back no matter what has happened. There's a clue here. By the way, the word planet and plant are only different by one letter. Coincidence, perhaps. Just rhetorically speaking, you get my point. And in the book, The Secret Life of Your Microbiome, one that Genuine Health as a company embraces and endorses, one of the authors of the book, Dr. Alan Logan, is a consultant for Genuine Health. I highly recommend that you read this book. And while you're reading it, you should have next to you perhaps a protein shake, a fermented vegan protein shake from Genuine Health while you're doing it. And you can actually experience what Dr. Logan and Dr. Prescott are talking about in their book. And I wrote the review. I was one of the people that they asked to write a review. And if I share with you my review, it will provide some insight, as it turns out, and I didn't realize it at the time, about the company Genuine Health. And I wrote that after reading The Secret Life of Your Microbiome, I was reminded of Bertrand Russell, who commented, quote, "I would rather be mad with the truth than sane with lies," close quote. Dr. Susan Prescott and Dr. Alan Logan speak truth to power as they present a persuasive opening statement and closing argument with a vigorous interrogation of the evidence of how humankind has shown a consequential disregard for and have become disconnected from nature and its healing force by living a dysbiotic promoting lifestyle, or otherwise living, quote, a life in distress, close quote. It is a lifestyle characterized by less empathy, mutuality, and interconnectedness, along with a disease-promoting diet, chronic disease, ill health, less diversity, and a disordered microbiome, culminating in an epidemic of dysbiosis, which is distress. Maddening as the truth may be, Drs. Prescott and Logan sketch an intriguing, optimistic narrative of microbes, the microbe they constitute, and the emerging microbiome revolution as driving forces in creating, sustaining, and reclaiming health, wellness, and well-being. They provide evidence-based and inspiring insight on how to survive the dysbiosphere while savoring the biosphere. As such, The Secret is a must-read for health professionals and laypersons alike, close quote. That book review captures not only the book, but it captures Genuine Health as a company, its philosophy, the people that run it, that created it, manage it, deal with it every day, live and breathe it. I met them yesterday in person. Stewart Brown, Jordan Wittmayer, and of course, Elise Donahue, no relation to Phil. Elise is CEO of the company, and you'll need to grab your mic. And we're glad that you made the trip all the way to Tampa, Florida, and thank you for coming in, and you'll need to get closer to your mic. There you go.
Well, thank you, Dr. Garko, for having me here today.
It's a pleasure. So what did you do, beat these guys up? What did you say to them? They made a woman a CEO of the company, thank God. This is great. We need more women in the natural products industry running these companies. How do you feel about that?
I think you're right. We do need more women here. You know, seriously, though, I think that it is important, like we know it's important to have diversity in your gut, it's important to have diversity in your company because we all come together with various points of view. And listen, we all know that women are the leaders of the household. We are the ones that are the caretakers. We take care of people. And so it seems like such a natural fit for a company that cares about giving and making people better and stronger and healthier. It seems only right that a caretaker, a woman, does make sense to run the company.
Good. And well said. We'll come back. We'll have you share some more. You are listening to Let's Talk Nutrition, coast to coast and globally, featuring Genuine Health.
Almost 52% of men experience erectile dysfunction and benign prostatic hyperplasia. If you've had challenges with virility, sexual health, or low energy, Body Vigor's Alpha Extension may be the answer for you. Body Vigor's Alpha Extension can help revitalize your alpha male and extend your love. Our formula is one of the highest quality nutraceuticals available, formulated to support the processes involved in promoting a healthy male sex drive, energy, and stamina. Alpha Extension has 2 powerful herbal blends, Virilo Max, which focuses on male sexual health, and T-Pump Activator, which helps balance your testosterone levels. Revitalize your alpha male with Body Vigor's Alpha Extension, exclusively available on Amazon.com.
These mics. There you go. Dysbiosis. Yeah, that's a fancy term. If you just tuned in, I was talking about that. It's life in distress. You can have a dysbiotic life in terms of your relationships, your job, your finances. You can also have a dysbiotic condition in your body. primarily in the gut, and they typically associate it with the gut. Welcome to the show. I'm glad you could tune in if you just stopped by. And you can call and connect in any way that we have it covered. The only thing we don't have is a pigeon coop outside, so we don't have carrier pigeons, but we have everything else. Gary's going to tell you.
You can reach us at 877-897-8255. That's 877-897-8255. Don't forget, Dr. Garko's personal email is at letstalknutrition.com.
Life in distress. And one of the conditions of modern society, it's a constellation of them, are located in the digestive system. All these itises associated with it, right? Yeah. And it's not an accident. And it's not necessarily, most of that variance is not accounted for by genetics. It's diet and lifestyle, and diet primarily. Lots of stress, not enough sleep. As my guest today, Stewart Brown, the founder of Genuine Health, said, crappy food. Well, that's brilliant, and that's what it is. We'll create that diverticulosis and.
Yeah, and one of the major things going on right now is, people are starting to understand the dysbiosis in the gut, but it's really been this massive paradigm shift that is going on right now in the scientific research world, and it's really about this shift from sanitization of our, spraying things to clean our hands. Antibiotics, just getting rid of in this fear of germs. And there's really been this paradigm shift going on where we're now starting to think we've got these microbes, and these microbes sort of mean life. And what we need to do is we need to start loving these microbes and having them as our friends, because we're starting to realize there's so much good stuff going on that these microbes that are with our body, they're actually doing so much for us. They're actually communicating what's happening in your gut with your brain, and they're now starting to realize if you don't have enough diversity in your gut and you don't have enough of these proper microbes, you're going to be depressed and you're going to have anxiety. You're going to have, they're starting to look at autism. They're taking fecal matter, and this sounds horrible, but they're taking fecal matter from healthy kids and implanting it in kids with autism, and they're having, it's very early stages, but they're having some really interesting and really good results. But it's for so many things that you were saying, the gut and the microbes make such a difference in people's lives.
I mean, it really does. Really, it all starts in the gut. Everything. I mean, we're learning more and more every single day on the importance of the human microbiome, like Stewart just mentioned. Autism. I mean, I think it used to be thought that it was a brain condition, and now they're leaning towards a gut condition. I mean, that's profound. And Dr. Garko, you just mentioned, your immune system, there's so much related to the gut. It's true. I mean, 80% is in the gut.
And we are working with the University of Toronto, and we're really excited about this. The Faculty of Pharmacy, Heather Boone, who years ago did a first study for us on superfoods and on green products. We knew back 20, 30 years ago, this goes back to the change in what we've been doing, but 20, 30 years ago, we realized that superfoods are really good for you. They increased your energy. They increased your vitality. We did a study that was published in the Canadian Journal of Dietetics, and it's significantly increased energy and well-being when we never knew why. But now we know it's actually these microbes, and the phytonutrients are feeding your microbes, and they're making your microbes healthy. So it's really important to get phytonutrients in your diet. And unfortunately, our diets today are moving away from nutrition and nourishment. Even when you eat healthy and eat organics, there's not as much phytonutrients in your diet as there used to be, because they grow foods now for speed. They grow them for size and how they look. They don't grow them for nutrition.
And the soil's depleted today as well. I mean, you're just not getting as much phytonutrients, polyphenols in foods today, which means that you need to consume more. We were just talking moments ago about the average diet is potatoes and ketchup. I mean, you need a wide variety, because it's been shown that polyphenol-rich foods are the new prebiotic. They're actually encouraging the growth of good bacteria, the diversity, helping heal a dysbiotic state by just
And
foods
we've-
rich in polyphenols.
Yeah, and we've tried to simplify the message at Genuine Health where, excuse me, where we talk about prime, seed, and feed. Prime your gut, seed your gut, and feed your gut. Priming your gut is very much, if you think of your gut like a garden, it should be beautiful, and you should have a huge amount of diversity, but it all starts with the soil. And it all starts with fertilizing the soil and getting the right soil and working on those microbes in the soil. And that's what fermentation to us is all about. So we really think the fermented foods, a third of people's food supply in the past was fermented before we had fridges and freezers. You needed to ferment your foods, and they're just so good for the microbes.
Problem.
You're listening to Stewart Brown and Jordan Wittmayer, both with Genuine Health. And Elise Donahue is here as well, CEO for the company. What they're laying out is their philosophy, their belief, and their passion for the company. When we come back, we're going to focus in and zero in how they take all of those abstract ideas, pardon me, and put them into the products and the way the products are made, from raw, and how the raw materials are handled. Fermentation is critical to their approach and their point of view. It makes a difference. Eating protein that's fermented compared to not, wow. The difference is profound. We'll be back.
Women who are pregnant or planning to have a child have specific nutritional needs. Maintaining optimal nutritional intake is important for mother and baby. Body Vigor's Preferred Prenatal can help mother and baby receive the appropriate building blocks for growth, development, and healthy function. The Preferred Prenatal formula provides essential vitamins and minerals, along with added support ingredients such as folic acid and DHA. Preferred Prenatal also incorporates a bonus herbal blend to help the mom-to-be with the uncomfortable side effects of pregnancy, like nausea, vomiting, mood swings, and uterine health. Support a healthy pregnancy for you and your baby with Preferred Prenatal, exclusively on Amazon.com.
In his research, Louis Pasteur showed that microorganisms were responsible for disease and fermentation, and supported by his germ theory of disease at the time, which is an interesting narrative. And in his ongoing desire to treat these diseases, he created the first vaccines for cholera, anthrax, a major livestock disease, and so on, and used in germ warfare too, and dreaded rabies. So he made a fabulous contribution. Paradoxically, as the story goes, on his deathbed, Dr. Pasteur is said to have said, quote, "Bernard was correct. I was wrong. The microbe, germ, is nothing. The terrain is everything," close quote. The terrain within, in specific, here, with the microbes in your gut, that is an ecology that exists, and it has become out of balance because of our diet and our lifestyle, and it has had grave consequences for people's health. And we're talking about that today. And there's a company here on the planet called Genuine Health that's trying to make its contribution to correct or to moderate this dysbiosis, this out of balance, this life in distress, if you will. And Stewart Brown is here, and Jordan Wittmayer and Elise Donahue, all associated with Genuine Health. Stewart is the founder of the company. Jordan is an educator, and Elise is the CEO. So in terms of the products of fermentation, we can give Dr. Pasteur credit both for fermentation and introducing it, knowing that microbes were responsible for fermentation and the creation of disease. Interesting, both are of interest to you and others. Your products, yesterday we talked about this one product you have called Fermented Organic Gut Superfoods Plus.
Yeah.
What is that product?
I mean, when I think of fermentation, first of all, I think of making something that's already good, really making it better through the act of fermentation. And I think what sets Genuine Health apart in the marketplace when it comes to fermentation is that not all fermentation is the same. I mean, you got to realize that some fermentation is done with enzymes, which is good, and then you have some fermentation that's done with good bacteria, which makes it even better. So you're using really good live probiotics to go to town on some things like anti-nutrients that are found in a lot of plant foods. Think of those fibers that are hard to break down, and you're making it so much better, which is the case of Genuine Health in our fermentation philosophy. And when it comes to Fermented Organic Gut Superfoods Plus, it is the industry's first and only 100% fermented, 100% organic superfoods, greens foods product to nourish the whole body, but also to especially nourish the gut. I mean, it's going to do what we were talking about earlier about creating the diversity in our gut that leads to amazing health benefit that can transform life for a very long time, forever.
As I look at when I look at the facts panel on the back, it has 6 grams of dietary fiber per serving, 1 scoop.
And that fiber is 100% fermented organic. It's an ingredient called VitaFiber. It has a lot of research on helping with cholesterol, blood pressure, blood sugar. But really, what I'm most excited about is the research around helping with nourish the gut, helping people that are in dysbiotic state. The other thing I like about the fiber is that it's really nourishing. A lot of people that have gut health issues, IBS, IBD, and so forth, they have a hard time with fiber. It's a lot of gas and bloating. So with ours, because it's fermented the artisanal way, you get no bloating at all, which you'll see at the very top there. Genuine Health's unique difference in the marketplace. We are the only one, I'll stress that, the only one without the bloat. No bloating with our product. And that, I'm sure a lot of people...
Because it's fermented. The fiber is fermented?
Yes, that's right. It's fermented in the artisanal way, like Genuine Health's philosophy is slow process done with good bacteria to make something that's good, better, no bloating, Not everyone else can say that. Genuine Health is the only. And also certainly improves utilization of the nutrients.
How did
as
you
well.
refer to the fiber? Almost like a trademark name. What did you call it?
It's a trademark ingredient that has a lot of research.
What's the name of it?
VitaFiber.
VitaFiber.
Yeah, Canadian ingredient. Wonderful.
Mm-hmm. And so the microbes, Pasteur was right. The microbes are responsible for the fermentation. And he believed that they were also, though, he didn't make the connection. He didn't figure out the microbiome and how it is really contributing to health. And he saw the microbes as the progenitors of disease, as the purveyors of disease, as the landlords of disease. But the rumor is that he changed his mind toward the end of his life. He said it's the terrain within, the internal terrain.
And it so much is. It really is. And that's been the sort of whole last few years, the paradigm shift. And it's really about the microbes being good, loving the microbes. It's just so important.
And it's about having really a comprehensive approach when it comes to nourishing your gut. There's a lot of one-dimensional approaches out there, which probiotics, for really to fully nourish the gut, you have to look at providing the food, the nourishment, so that you can allow those to grow and transform health.
That's you're listening to Jordan Wittmayer. He's an educator for Genuine Health. And I asked Jordan and Stewart to write down one thing that if they knew they were going to be leaving the earth, one thing they would want people to know or have said about them. And Jordan wrote, pardon me, don't waste knowledge, give back that knowledge, wisdom, and health to everyone.
Yeah, I mean, when you think about that, and it's not something that it comes natural to me, really. If I'm travel a lot, I'm on a plane, and you have an opportunity to maybe speak about maybe something like our product or the importance of just living a healthier lifestyle. And, it's easy to dive down into your laptop and work instead of, spreading that knowledge, that wisdom to others.
It's a lot of energy to talk, doesn't it? I'm wore out when the show's over. You have another product line, in the product line, your fermented vegan proteins.
That's priming the gut with the very best in fermented proteins done the artisanal way. 40% better utilization, no bloat again. It's the only one like it in the industry with 7 fully fermented sources.
Women, it's a lot of times women that have bloating issues, and they have a longer intestine. And so they can have babies, and
right.
It's the main reason. But that's
there's more things to go wrong then.
Exactly, and there's more bloating. So it's really an important product because you shouldn't be bloating. It was actually interesting because how did we come up with the fermentation and the gut health is?
Well, we'll answer that question when we come back. We'll be back with the LTN Health question.
Are your joints feeling out of date and stiff? Is that old sports injury flaring up? Is your body aching from the daily wear and tear at work? Body Vigor's Joint Ready keeps you at the ready for any joint pain that gets out of line. Unfortunately, as we age, joint pain becomes more common. Body Vigor's Joint Ready can help provide relief so you can continue to go about your day. Our formula contains sulfated forms of glucosamine and chondroitin. Studies show that these sulfated forms are more effective than regular glucosamine bound to hydrochloride. Joint Ready promotes a healthy inflammatory response, facilitates cartilage synthesis, and provides additional antioxidants. Keep your joints at the ready with Body Vigor's Joint Ready, exclusively on Amazon.com.
Here's the LTN health question of the day. A number of theories exist. They come and they go, and you have paradigm shifts. And there was a theory, the germ theory, and the germ theory, in a word, tried to explain why it was that people were dying of these diseases and caused by germs. It's more complicated than that, but you get the idea. And then there was the cellular theory, which was opposite. It believed that it was the terrain within. There was an upsetting of the environment within your body, in particular, the digestive area. Who was responsible for the creation of the germ theory? Was it Claude Bernard, Louis Pasteur, or Antoine Béchamp? If you get this, I gave you the answer. All three were French. The answer is obvious. There's the hint. Was it Claude Bernard, Louis Pasteur, or Antoine Béchamp responsible for the germ theory? It made a great contribution to science and medicine, but it also set things back a little bit, too, in an ironic way. Use this number, give us a call and win.
877-897-8255. That's 877-897-8255 or 813-636-8255.
And it is the terrain within. I wrote a paper entitled that. And if you want to make your terrain within better, it turns out that Genuine Health makes wonderful fermented vegan protein bars. They're fabulous. How many grams of protein in there?
You got 15 fully fermented grams of protein.
And how many grams of fiber?
Upwards of 10 grams. And this is, fully fermented fiber, which we were talking about earlier, helps nourish the gut.
And the bars are yum. They're yum, too. They taste great.
Well, that's important. I mean, you can have a bar that, is amazing for health, but if it doesn't taste good, forget about it.
Yeah.
People aren't going to try it.
I mean, if you need the courage of a Navy SEAL to consume it, then you forget about it. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, people do love them.
Yeah, I think that's one of the reasons that people keep going back to our bars is the fact that they taste great, texture's phenomenal, and they're really low in sweetness. So many bars today, because I'm a huge bar fan myself, I've been for many years. I mean, so many bars are just loaded with sugar, and they're too overly sweet.
Mm. So instead
I'm a texture guy, though. If it tastes like sand in my mouth, that grit,
you won't eat it.
Yeah. Because it just reminds me of my brother beating me up. So that's what that's what it reminds me of.
You're not alone. If it doesn't smell good, look good, or taste good, I don't care if it'll save your life. It'll sit on the table. The protein powdered products.
Yeah.
How do they mix? How do they taste?
Well, I was just going to say, texture is everything when it comes down to a drink that you want to enjoy, and hopefully you'll want to enjoy it. And when you actually ferment something, believe it or not, you can improve the texture. And that's what we're doing, with our products here. Fermented Vegan Proteins Plus, Fermented Organic Gut Superfoods Plus. These are products that have amazing texture, excellent mixability. And when I say excellent mixability, I mean just put it in a blender bottle with water, your favorite beverage, give it a couple of shakes, and it really does mix incredibly well. Tastes excellent. It's not overly sweet. It's just the right combination of sweetness and flavor.
What's the Greek yogurt?
The fermented Greek yogurt is a way to ferment dairy protein because a lot of people have sensitivities to dairy protein, which can, again, create gas, bloating, stomach discomfort. So when you ferment this amazing Greek yogurt, which is found in our Fermented Greek Yogurt Proteins Plus bars as well, you find that it transforms it into something better. 25% better utilization of the fermented Greek yogurt protein compared to other dairy sources like whey protein. Again, and no bloating. It's really incredible, and the taste is unbeatable, unremarkable. So, just please try it. Don't take my word for it.
Let's go to Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Philly, we're a big hit there, thank goodness. We play well in Peoria too, by the way. We are in Peoria, and we play well in Philly, and we love it. Cindy, welcome to the show. It's great to have you on.
Hi.
How are you today?
Okay.
Okay, good. So, who's responsible for the creation of the germ theory? Was it Claude Bernard, Louis Pasteur, or that other guy?
Louis Pasteur?
It was Louis Pasteur. Made a great contribution to science. But interestingly, he understood that the microbes were responsible for fermentation. And I'm surprised he didn't catch it. Or maybe he did. I'll have to read him closer. To make that connection between fermentation and the augmentation of food through fermentation to create a better outcome for the food and a better outcome for the person to consume the food then. It's amazing. And it's at the heart and soul of genuine health. You ferment everything, right?
I mean, absolutely. Everything, including, we were talking about our philosophy as a brand. I mean, we're prime, seed, feed. It's really simple. So prime, we were talking about with the fermented protein and bars. And then seed, which we haven't spoken about yet, is our amazing probiotic. It's the industry's, first probiotic that has hardier, healthier strains that lead to better results in the body, of course. These are very resilient strains. All the fermentation is done in-house, and we have a unique delayed release system that allows 10 times more delivery targeted to the gut for better utilization. So we have prime, fermented nutrition, seed, the very best probiotic out there, and then feed the gut, which is the very best high polyphenol-rich superfoods in the fermented organic gut superfoods plus.
And Cindy, thank you so much for listening to the show. Thank you for participating. You want a $25 supplement gift card. We appreciate your listenership.
Thanks very much.
Yeah. Have you ever tried Genuine Health products? Have you ever used them?
No, I'm interested.
Okay, yeah. I know up in your area, the health stores carry them, and if they don't, they will be happy to order it, and they can go to Genuine Health. What's the website?
Yeah, www.usgenuinehealth.com.
Yeah, it's a Canadian company, and you can learn more about Genuine Health at that website. Much to learn. Again, thank you so much, Cindy. We appreciate it, and congratulations. You're welcome. And thank you, Stewart, Jordan, and Elise for coming in today.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
It's our pleasure. Thank you for your contribution and being so passionate and value-oriented as a business and trying to do good in a good way for people. You are making a difference.
Thank you.
Remember, we do this because your health is your wealth, and your health is the wealth of those that care about it.